Friends, how's it going? Let me get my huge freaking cup of coffee in here right now. Compliments of Santa. Wow, what a good week. What a crazy week. And it was a good week because we started off having the market. Obviously, it's done here. It's Saturday. I'm yapping here. And then, Jerome Powell came in. He pretty much crashed the whole market. One man, one power. Look what he did here. But, even towards Friday here, a lot of us, I think a lot of people gained back what they lost, if not pretty close to it. So just kind of talk about some roundabout things here with what's going on with what we're looking at. With Palantir especially, I know I've talked about Palantir, but there's always something here to talk about the Palantir. There's something new breaking here every 14, 20 days here with Palantir. It's just constantly. There's obviously right here with Alex Karp, there's a new king in town here. There's a new king in town, and Alex is that guy. He is that guy. Palantir is that company, and things are they're progressing here, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. So we're going to talk about a few stocks here, but Palantir, let's start off there. That's kind of our guiding point right now, where we're at right now. So with Palantir here, starting off here, the big boy, I think the majority of everyone, you should be somewhere in some sort of profit zone, whether it's $1, $500, hundreds of thousands of dollars, wherever you're holding positions, how much ever capital you have in this. I think everyone is almost the same page here, where Palantir has hit another all-time high here, and everyone's in profit zone. So everyone's, there's different conversations going on right now where people are like, should I just sell, take my money, get out of here, or should I keep buying Palantir, or should I just not do anything and just sit here and wait? And it's really depending on you. Now, obviously, I am the old fart here where I go like, well, I'm staying put and I'm not selling because I know there's a lot more that's coming down here the pipeline with Palantir. Plus, on top of that, I'm still buying Palantir, just in different portfolios that I've started different positions in with Palantir. I buy Palantir every week. I just automatically put money in there, not really caring what the rate is at this point, because I believe Palantir is going to $200 here by this time next year. And if we keep sustaining these deals, these numbers, this news, this progression, we're going to do that. Market cap is increasing, deals are increasing, and with that conversation, Palantir here, one reason they sealed the deal with this $80 position here, and it's probably going to trickle into 80 plus here soon, because not only did they just capture this huge deal that I'll go over, but they're going into the NASDAQ 100, so that's even more money pushed in. They went into the NASDAQ, more money pushed in. The S&P 500, money pushed in, and now the NASDAQ 100, more money pushed in. And then you have a slew of ETFs that Palantir is being adopted into. Here's just a few right here. And then, with the most holdings of Palantir. And then right here, you have the Palantir deal. The Palantir deal is right here, where this 4-year, government army deal just solidified just the next 4 years of millions and millions of dollars right here, almost $1 billion contract to just increase what was already increasing. So it keeps getting crazier and crazier here, and this is why when we saw these interviews with Alex Karp here this year, where he was doing a slew of interviews, and he still does. He does a lot. For a CEO, he talks a lot, and I like it. I like when CEOs talk. I hate when CEOs go dormant and you don't hear from them. It's talking CEOs. It's good. It's good. You want to hear from CEOs, and Alex Karp is that guy. So we have him there, and I do believe he is the forefront of a lot of this progression, this push that is happening here in Palantir. But even when Alex talks, he talks somewhat in riddles, where he says things like, there's things coming that I cannot even say right now with Palantir that we're working on. We have no ceiling. We have no real competition. There's no one to stop us from where we're at right now. Sure, there's companies that are similar, do what we do. BigBear, we'll talk about that in a minute. But all in all, we're so far ahead of the game, where this specific situation with AI that we have pushed in this element here, we're ahead of the game. We have the market, we have the customers, we have the big contracts. We're growing, and it's not stopping at this point. So, this is why you're seeing Palantir just enrich in number right now, where it just, everyone, they're not going to stop buying Palantir. So if someone's telling you like, I'm not buying this company more, it's too overvalued. Listen, I have a YouTube channel that I yap my mouth about. The majority of comments that I do see about Palantir, they're positive. Everyone's kind of on the same wavelength here. But out now and then, and on chat rooms, I see people say like Palantir is going back to $40, Palantir is going back to $60. I have people leaving me comments telling me that I'm out of my mind, and Palantir is going back to $50. Those people, I feel bad for those people. I really do, because you know what? They sold at 50-40 and they haven't bought back in yet, and they've missed out on all this. So I'm sorry that you've done that, but there's still time for you. Believe it, even at $80, there's more to come here with Palantir. We're in this situation right now where we have essentially, around about 2 weeks left here in December of 2024. Now, what's going to happen here in January of 2025? Well, Trump's coming in office. The market's going to be booming, at least here in January. It's almost like a golden ticket. We can guarantee our safety here in January. With that conversation, Palantir once again will be wrapping up the quarterlies here of 2024, which we expect to at least be the same, if not a little bit bigger, with like the last quarterlies we just saw, which were the biggest quarterlies that Palantir ever produced, which were huge and shot it into that $60, $70 range to help get it there. I think it's a very dangerous place to say right now, with a company that keeps producing massive news, keeps getting pushed into these crazy situations with their stock, with ETFs, progression of NASDAQ 100, S&P 500. What more can come here? There's going to be more that's going to be happening. 2025 will no doubt, like 2024, be the biggest year for Palantir and could easily double in price by this time next year. There's no doubt about that. Just with these last 2 weeks going into January, but with Trump coming in office, 45 days from now, Palantir could easily be at a $95 to $100 position. That's the real situation of what's happening here. Because too, you have to understand, Palantir's running on the thought process too. Obviously, all these deals, all this stuff happening, it's just adding more fuel to the fire, a raging fire right now. That is Palantir. But also, you have Palantir, who is in cahoots with the Trump administration, where the allies, friends there, so they know each other. Great. Whether you're a Trump fan, not a Trump fan, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it's good for you as an investor with Palantir. So I'm sure you'll take it at the end of the day, whatever. With that conversation here, we have to look at $100 is not that big of a deal. When we're talking about a company that is almost at $200 billion market cap, $100 a share, not that big of a deal. Palantir is almost at an AMD market cap. And AMD is going to have a good year too, but Palantir will pass AMD here market cap. It will pass it more than likely in stock price this year. Okay, as crazy as that may sound to say, but I suspect every 30 days we've been capturing $10 to $12 price range up in Palantir. Do you realize that? Do you realize that we've been capturing $10 to $12 here in price range every 30 days here in Palantir? There's no other stocks that are moving like this right now. In every time we say even I was thinking we might have a little bit of slowdown here. I was thinking that a while ago. But now with all this more inclusion, this other big deal that just got pushed, and what else is coming here that we don't know about, and then with all the hype that's coming in January, and then plus the quarterlies that will be coming out here to wrap up 2024, it's just going to push Palantir into triple digit zone. And I don't know where it's going to land, but it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. So if you think you're too late to the party right now with Palantir, you're not. And listen, I know a lot of us, let me get a cup of coffee. Here we go. Friends, if you got $5, $15, $20, $50, $100, $3, $4, $5, $1,000, don't feel like you're the little guy, okay? We're all in this together. I can guarantee, I promise you, when I started in the stock market, even when I started this stupid channel, I had nothing. I had shares and just stuff that was falling apart. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really have money. I had $5 here or there to put in some shares. And I had to learn a lot of lessons, okay? But if I can help guide anyone, if you have $5, put it in a good stock like Palantir, like something that we're going to talk about here. But don't feel embarrassed that you maybe can only put $5 in Palantir. You can only put $20, $50. At least you're a part of something, because I can guarantee you 9 out of 10 people that you're walking or that you're passing by outside or that you work with at your work, They don't even own a brokerage account. They don't have an account with a brokerage. They don't have Robinhood, Webull, Vanguard. They don't have anything, okay? So you're already so far ahead of them, okay? Even if you're buying Palantir at $70, $80, maybe it was 50, 60, 40, 30, who knows when you jumped in here. Maybe it's $90, $100 you're jumping in here. In 5 to 10 years, it's not going to matter because you're going to say, thank God I started somewhere. Do you understand when you really break down mathematically how much you make off retirement for majority of blue collar workers? And I'm talking to us because I'm one of those guys here. I was that for a long time. What they give us in retirement, it's so easy to get there. Even a 20, 30 year retirement that someone has, it's so easy to build that number in such a faster and a more aggressive time span for you as an individual if you put your money, even the littlest bit amount, into super stocks, okay? Like Palantir, like a SoFi, something that's moving very aggressively. Even some ETFs out here, I would dare say. It's so much easier to get somewhere faster when you take things in your own hands, okay? I promise you 100%. So don't be embarrassed whether you have $5, $10. At least you're starting somewhere, okay? But it helps you to be more aware of money, where things are at, and it's so empowering to do this stuff. I promise you. So I'm kind of going off on a tangent there, but listen, Palantir, I think we're getting started here. Palantir is just getting started with what's going to be happening here this year. It is going to blow people's mind away. It is going to blow people's mind away. And even if Palantir has like an okay quarterly here coming up where it's like it didn't melt expectations or people's faces or anything like that, but they just like, we met our quarterly, we did good. Palantir's still going to go. People are not going to let this go. They're not. The juice is too worth the squeeze right now. The juice is worth the squeeze right now with Palantir, and people they're not gonna not squeeze it. They're gonna eat it. They're gonna take it, 100%. Don't let people fool you. Don't be naive to when people say like they're not gonna buy more Palantir. They're gonna buy Palantir. They've been buying Palantir. It's not gonna stop. All right, just to talk about BigBear AI. So if you've been following me, listen to me talk about BigBear AI here. This is a stock that I have been putting money into, and of course, I've got to give my same yap here, broken record conversation. Just kind of make this fast. This is a very dangerous thing to be a part of right now. Okay, and I'm very bullish on it. And I'm putting money into it, so I'm not trying to sit here and rip people apart or anything, because I'm right here with you. I'm pushing it. I am fighting for this stock. I want it to work. But I do want you to understand, just because I'm talking about it, I have to say this. Do not buy this stock just because I am buying it, okay? This is a very 50-50 situation of what could happen this year. And what I want out of 2025 with BigBear here is very small, minute compared to what when we're talking about a Palantir here, okay? BigBear, there's some big problems, but there's also some really big opportunity that it could have. So it's a very divisive conversation that everyone has right now with BigBear, and I get both sides here because I'm playing. You shouldn't really. No matter what you're investing in, you should always find, problems. What could not work here? What could happen? One thing that would be terrible for Palantir is to lose Alex Karp. I think that would be a devastating thing for Palantir. That's not happening, so I'm not trying to say that. But with BigBear here, let's shift our attention back to BigBear here. BigBear, a lot of debt. Old company, a lot of debt, but in the past few years here has really shifted and morphed with what they're doing with their software, technology, AI, movement, and what's going to be pushing the market here in these next 4 years, more than likely, probably the next decade. It's AI, it's technology, tech stocks. Well, BigBear in that conversation. So the past year here, BigBear doing better on quarterlies, doing better. Missed a few, hit a few, that conversation. With that, even captured some pretty nice deals this year. Some things drawing a lot more money. So they're getting more active in what deals they're getting, okay? They're progressing here in deals. Great. But I think for me personally, with BigBear right now, playing around this 250 to I think 250. Well, yeah, 250 zone to we'll see say even 350 zone. Okay, that's really where we're playing around right now with Big Bear the past month. Even at that range here, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because I'm buying, I'm accumulating, I'm trying to build a hefty position here. And I realize that it may not work, it may work. It could be really bad or really good. Because all I'm hoping for this year in 2025 is just a few small things, but big things as well. That Big Bear, A of all, they really start to pay off some debt. They get some debt paid down. That would be a big thing. Investors, big investors, corporations, these firms, they don't like debt. They don't like to put a lot of money in companies that have debt. Debt is bad. There's good debt and there's bad debt. There's bad debt with them. But obviously they have debt for certain reasons. It's a lot of startup, a lot of pushing into the company. Next thing, I would love to see Big Bear grab some big contracts. They have one big government contract, really nice contract. They have a few different contracts they've been working on and they have here. So those are advancing. Really good stuff there. And with that conversation, if Big Bear just could really hold on to a $3 to a $550 zone all of 2025, I'd be happy as a peach. I really would. I'm not pushing and I'm not expecting a lot out of Big Bear this year. Okay, now obviously Big Bear could run here this year. It could get caught up in some FOMO. It could get caught up in some situations where it gets attached and it could get turned into a little bit of a meme stock. Somewhat like a little bit of a SoundHound situation. Obviously, SoundHound and Big Bear, financially, two different companies, okay? Not even in the same realm. But Big Bear here, it's a little baby here compared to AI stocks, and there's a lot that has to happen. But as we keep seeing good news build around it, there is opportunity here. So what I'm saying to you, listen, I am not one of these YouTubers who's going to be like, this is the nut, dude. I want it to be that. I want it to be that, trust me, okay? I was more like that with SoundHound. If you were listening to me yap about SoundHound 3-4 months ago, I was that guy. I was like, this thing is going to, I was drinking the juice hard, and thank God it worked. It's worked a little too well. It needs to come down. It needs to get back to reality. I think a lot of us are ready to buy back in. I'll get to that conversation. But Big Bear here, listen, I can't guarantee where this is going to go this year, okay? This thing could go right back down to $1.50, and I wouldn't be shocked. But I would probably buy more. That's where I'm at with it. And if I lose it all, if some say things don't work out here in 2025, which I'm highly expectant that won't be the case. I think alone the stock, as it keeps getting more popular and pushed here, and if we do see a heavy advancement in a partnership here with Palantir, which I think that's what a lot of people are relying on here, is that this could get really lucrative for Big Bear, okay? Bigger deals, partnerships, things like that. So I'm not expecting a lot out of 2025 with Big Bear. I'm not expecting Big Bear to make me a multimillionaire in 2025, okay? What I'm expecting is personal things where I'm gonna rely on myself to build a hefty position in Big Bear here and take a big chance that something could happen here, that they could snag some sort of big deal, that AI will continue to push and Big Bear will attach itself to that, where it will, start to get some bigger numbers here and bigger deals and more attention. And I think we're seeing that right now. I think we're in the situation of Big Bear is getting into a conversation of it's getting some attention. Things are happening here. People they're starting to say like, okay, what are these next quarterlies going to do? What does this look like here with Big Bear? So that is pretty much my argument right now with Big Bear. It hasn't changed too much. I'm just sitting here accumulating shares, and if Big Bear went back down to like $2.10, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. And I also wouldn't be shocked for Big Bear to run to $3.50 to $4. I think that's going to be the ballpark. I think it's going to be a very up and down situation here with Big Bear. But if Big Bear went past $6, that would shock me. If Big Bear went to 90 cents, that would shock me. You see, so I'm kind of in this middle ground where Big Bear has just the right amount of news, good situation happening, and just enough of the bad situation to keep it where it's at right now. Does that make sense, what I'm talking about right here? So that's kind of where BigBear is at right now. It's just in this mix, this big mix bowl right now, where it's like, it's just mixing, adding a few, flavors here and there. And it's just, we're just stirring around right now. It's just getting stirred around. So that's kind of where I'm at with BigBear. I'm buying, but I'm not expecting a whole lot at the moment, unless we get into January here and they're like, hey, we just signed, like a $50 million contract with, that would be like, then the stock would go freaking nuts. Friends, just to talk about SoundHound, a lot of people have asked me to talk about SoundHound. Listen, I was the guy with the bullhorn on the side of the street with the sign looking crazy, like, buy SoundHound, it's gonna go crazy, buy SoundHound. And people were like, all right, psycho. I was that guy, and thank God it turned out right. It turned out really right. And now SoundHound is in this situation where it is taken off. It has just packed its bags and it has left. My only concern, my concern with SoundHound hitting almost this this $24 position, this price point it's hit here on the 18th here to wrap up the market here. I do suspect we should and could see heavy sell-off. Now, of course, I say that and SoundHound could go like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep running here. Because now the news around SoundHound is that SoundHound has turned into this meme stock. And there's some truth to that, but that's okay because there's plenty of people that have made plenty of big amounts of money in meme stocks. That's 100% true. So there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, because the fundamental part of SoundHound, it's working. It's gonna work. SoundHound is a tremendous, awesome company and that's why I was yapping about SoundHound so much these past months, where I was like, please look at this company. Please look at what's going on here. There's no one else doing what they're doing at this rate with these deals that they're capturing. The problem is, it's a problem now because it's gotten so expensive, but I was just watching, I think a lot of us we were watching SoundHound get these deals with the auto industry, the fast food industry, all these deals, but yet the quarterlies hadn't come out for these deals yet. So I was like, and it still really hasn't compared to the deals they've just gotten here recently. So once SoundHound starts to release these next few quarterlies, these quarterlies are going to be big, and they're going, more than likely that's what we're expecting, and that's why the price is really progressing here. So with that conversation, until we get to these quarterlies to show the fundamentals of all these deals that SoundHound has just like snagged up here in the past months, I could see SoundHound have a little bit of sell-off here back to a $15, $18 position. I find it hard to believe that it's going to go more than what it is right now, but obviously I think, if it does, great. Here's where I'm at with SoundHound. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I sold a big portion of SoundHound at like $14-15, somewhere there. But there's still another, I still have another bag of it at like $4 somewhere else that I haven't sold out of. So, selfishly, I would love SoundHound to go back to a $15 to $14 range, because I would just buy a bunch more of it, because I know regardless, 2025 into the next 4 years is going to be a amazing year here for SoundHound. 100%. This company is going into huge market cap potential, and where it's going to, it could go into some heavy numbers. Bullet points, what I'm trying to say here is SoundHound. Am I still a fan of SoundHound? Absolutely. But SoundHound has had a huge run here. Huge run here. But SoundHound is a little confusing right now, because SoundHound has entered into this area where it's like, okay, price action, valuation, okay, I think a lot of us are happy. Now SoundHound's got to back that up with some earnings, with some money, because if they don't, then we're going to see a progression of sell-off. Okay, but like I've been preaching here, SoundHound is going to enter into this 2025 year with doubling quarterlies, with bigger deals. They've already had, the money's already there. It just hasn't entered into earnings yet because of their quarterlies. They've been snagging these big deals. They've been rolling here. So, and big investors know this. This is one reason that SoundHound, one of the main reasons, obviously, why SoundHound is rolling here, because what is it keeps progressing here with SoundHound. So know that to be true. Friends, so one last thing I'm going to talk about. This is an ETF, okay? And I talked about this once, maybe a month ago. This is a new ETF, Tom Lee ETF, that has just recently started up. And I think the potential of this ETF is going to be huge. I mean, once you see what is in this ETF, you're going to be like, holy crap, I got to start buying this thing. So it's only $20 right now, and they're still so young. There's no dividend attached to it as far as I know yet. So I'm buying this well into the future, and this is something that's just retirement. This is something that I'm putting money into just to hold. It's there, growth, whatnot. And you do whatever you want to do with it. But it's the granny shorts. Okay, it's the GRNY here. So do some research on this, but this is an ETF that holds Tesla, Axon, Netflix, Apple, CrowdStrike, Amazon, Alphabet, Class A, more Microsoft, Costco. I mean, it's just huge. I mean, those are things that control the market. So there is no doubt that this is within 2 to 3 years. This is going to be probably a $60 ETF. Okay, so please check this out. Do not it's rare to where you can catch really good ETFs really in a very new area. So this is something that I buy every week. Every time I make money here or there, I take money and it's automatically it gets thrown in there. So really look at this. I know it's not exciting. It's not like a crazy thing to be a part of, but it's a steady growth. It's a guarantee you're going to get your money back plus some, okay? Look at it as a retirement, as just something that will eventually bring you dividends, no doubt about it. It will eventually pay off dividends, but it's something that will, in the next 5 years, really have significant growth in it. And plus, with a few of those stocks in particular, are going to have a really good next 5 to 10 years, Tesla being one of them. So friends, I'm going to shut up now. Have a great weekend. I would be back yapping my mouth here, and I've got to do a TikTok live either tomorrow or tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I don't feel like it tonight. But friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.